I'm gonna be using my old router to connect to connect my PC to Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is actually pretty fast. So first of all, you can either use an Ethernet cable or a coaxial cable, but but this step will work for both. So right here, I have my coaxial cable coming from the wall all the way back there, comes in there, goes around the TV, and it's right there. You can use an Ethernet cable for this or a coaxial cable. So first, what we're gonna do is you're gonna plug in you're gonna plug your old router in, and you're gonna connect the Ethernet cable from your laptop or your PC to your router, like I have mine right there. And you want to make sure it's green or orange, and it's on. And you also want to reset your router too. So you want to go on your PC. You want to go on your PC and you want to type in ipconfig. Right there, and you want to look for your default gateway, which yours is either going to be 10.0.0.1 or it's going to be 192.168.0.1, or it might be 192.168.1.0. Either way, you're gonna once you find your default gateway, you're gonna go right here and you're gonna go into your browser. And in your browser, you're gonna type your default gateway, which I just typed mine in right here. So when you basically type your default gateway and it's downloading up, it's gonna take you to a site. You're not connected to Wi-Fi right now, just in case. It's gonna take you to your router settings, and it's gonna ask the login. So the password, the username is gonna be admin, and then the password is gonna be admin, or the password or the username is gonna be admin and the password is gonna be password. So I'm already logged in, so I'm gonna go right there. And this is what I was talking about. So if you're not gonna be using the coaxial cable, which is basically that white cable which I have all the way over there, which is that TV cable. If you're not gonna be using that, you want to turn on bridge mode. And what bridge mode basically does is that it's basically gonna turn your old router into a switch. So a switch is a device that you plug in one Ethernet cable on one end, and then it sends Ethernet to the other end. So when you basically put it in bridge mode, all you have to do is just plug an Ethernet cable into one end, and just plug the Ethernet cable into one end, and then you're gonna be receiving Wi-Fi. But if you're not, but this method will not work for coaxial cables. So if you have a coaxial cable, you're gonna want to go into connections, and you wanna find this setting called Mocha. This setting called Mocha is what's basically gonna allow you to use the coaxial cable, and when it comes into your router, the router is gonna turn the Wi-Fi. It's gonna turn the Wi-Fi that's given. Yeah, so it's gonna turn the Wi-Fi that's coming from the coaxial cable. It's gonna put into the router. But again, it will not be. It's not gonna be wireless Wi-Fi. It's still basically gonna be a switch. But we're just saying, you're gonna be using a coaxial cable. So once it loads up. So once it loads up, what you basically want to do is you want to turn the Mocha setting on, and you want to click save. I think mine's loading right now. So let me repeat this. If you're gonna be using the Ethernet cable, you're gonna want to turn on bridge mode. If you're gonna be using the coaxial cable, you're gonna turn on Mocha. So once you enable it right here, like I've basically done, you want to next go into Wi-Fi. So once you're done, you basically want to go into not Wi-Fi. You want to go into your local IP network or whatever it may be, and you basically want to turn off DHCP. And what DHCP does, right, is that it's gonna assign an IP address to the it's gonna assign the IP address to the computer, and you don't want that because you want your main router to assign the IP address because if this one is doing it, then the things might start fighting with each other, and it might be slow. But if you don't see a DHCP setting in yet, just leave it alone. So when you turn on Mocha and turn off DHCP, you're basically done. And so you wanna go right there. Oh yeah, and for the Ethernet users, so when you turn on bridge mode, you're basically done. So I'm gonna go into my router and I'm gonna plug in and I'm gonna put in my coaxial cable. So once you put in the coaxial cable, you should start seeing Wi-Fi. And then for my Ethernet users, so once you're basically in bridge mode in your router, yeah, in most routers, right, there's gonna be like the four ports right there, and then there's gonna be like a main there's gonna be like a main uh there's gonna be a main Ethernet port right here, and you don't want to put it in that. You want to put it in one of the main ports that's gonna be over here, and then you basically want to use your other you want to use your other Ethernet cables, and you put it right here and into your PC. So once you're done with that, so as you can see, you're gonna go right here, and it's still gonna be like this. You either want to give it a little while until the PC sign shows up, or your internet sign, or you either want to unplug it and then plug it back in so you can do its thing. But as you can see right here, when I click on it, it says identify network. It says identified network, and then now it says network 3 connected. So now we're gonna go and try some YouTube, and it basically works. So now YouTube has now loaded up, and I have Wi-Fi on here. And in my last video, some people were asking me, "Hey, how is this Wi-Fi fast? Is it gonna be taken away from my other Wi-Fi?" And the last Wi-Fi was not that fast. But let's go on the speed test and see how fast this one is. If we go on the speed test, find the optimal server, go, and we click it right here. As you can see, the speeds are really pretty fast, and it downloads speed of around like the 200s right now, which is faster than my mobile network. And then a an upload speed of 170 something. So the actual speeds are pretty fast, and it can be used for gaming and stuff like that. So this is actually pretty fast and pretty reliable. You either have a network port all around your house, or you have a network, or you have a coaxial cable around your house, and you can just get an old router and just use this step. And yeah, the speeds are actually pretty fast. And now wrap up the video. But let's say you do have a network cable or a coaxial cable, and you're like, mine's not long enough. Or you have a coaxial cable, and you're like, mine's not long enough. You can get one of these splitters, so it goes into one end and it comes out the other end. It doesn't have to come out. Yeah, it just goes into one end, it comes out all three end, and it's actually pretty cheap on Amazon. Or you can get it from your, or you can get it from your, or you can get it from your network provider. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out.